good morning. Yes, it is morning time, and I do have my café con leche with me. So, how is everyone doing today? January 10th. I don't know where the first week of January went. It's like it was New Year's yesterday. I know, I'm already thinking like January is already gone. We're already in January 10th, and I'm already thinking about what's next, February. So, welcome, welcome. Lovely to see you here. Um, so I have a document that I shared with you. It is very simple, but I try to make it into a Google Doc, so maybe you can use it if you want to type things in. This is meant to be a workshop so that we can do this together because I need help. Not help, but I wanted to like set some time apart to also do my own professional development planning. So then I figure why not do it with others as well? So then this is my way of getting organized and hopefully helping others who just want to take this next hour to get organized. And I have some really great prompts that are going to help you just start thinking about 2025, what you would like to do this year when it comes to your expertise and your professional development, and how we can prioritize that. So I am taking all the prompts basically from the professional development planner for RDs that I made, and this is also available on Amazon. I'm giving you all the prompts in this document that I should. Yay, Roy! Awesome. So you and I, we can write directly on our planners. Others can take this link that I shared. I'm going to share it a few times. And you can go ahead and make a copy for yourself and you can type things up. Or if you want to print it, you can print it as well. So this is meant to be very informal, but this will be a time for co-working, I guess, so that we can go through these prompts together. And I want to set a timer for a few minutes. We can ask questions as well. Maybe some of you might be interested in improving your skills in a particular area. You can just ask the rest of the group, hey, what programs have you done that have helped you with this particular area? And then we can help each other in that sense. So, are you ready to get started? Wonderful. Okay, so everybody should have access to the Google Doc. Give me a thumbs up if you're able to open it and you can make a copy. I'm pretty sure I changed. Yeah, I can see someone in there. Okay, wonderful. So while I'm here, I'm going to go ahead and just share my screen. So I'm going to share one screen and then I'm going to share the other screen. So this screen is just showing the actual planner, but the idea behind me sharing this is because I have a roadmap. And this is how my brain works. So the first step for me is to be able to dream it up, to be able to figure out what my big picture is for 2025. I mean, this could be for the next 5 years, to be honest. And this is something that I really like to do with clients as well, so that we can have that desired future self that they're thinking about and then working backwards almost in a sense so that we can get there. So we're going to take some time to figure out what we want from our future self, what we want that to look like professionally, or if you want to work on your personal, habits or skills, you can do that too. It's entirely up to you what you want to work on. I specifically have a lot of professional development that I want to get through. And for me, it's not about CEUs. I'm done with all my CEUs for the next 4 years. But I have all these things that I want to get to because I want to expand my scope of practice and I want to just get better at different things. So for me, it's about organizing and prioritizing based on where I'm at and where I see my businesses going in 2025. Then the second part is, and this is very like adjunct to what we're doing with dreaming up what we want for 2025. It's also defining some of those key qualities that we want to embody as you're moving forward. It might be consistency, it might be organization, whatever it might be. I'm going to share a list with you that can help prompt your brain into what might be some of those key qualities that you would like to embody as you're moving forward that you know are going to help you get to and become that future self that you want to become. the rockstar RD I keep on mentioning. Then we're going to do a brain dump. So we're going to dump all these ideas onto your Google Doc or onto your planner. So then we're going to get it out of our brains and onto paper. And one of the practices I've been doing that has helped me a lot is just brain dumping. Every single week, I just brain dump and then I organize what's urgent, what's important but not urgent, what can I delegate, what do I need to do today? And it just helps me get sorted. So we're going to do a brain dump of all the things. And I want to show you some prompts for that too. And then lastly, we're going to go into setting our intentions. So we're going to brain dump, prioritize by quarters, and then set your intentions for January. And that's what we're going to get through. And then you can use these same prompts to guide you through the other months as well. And then the other things that I do have as part of the actual planner, because that's my system, is, breaking it down into baby steps. And then I actually have 6 down here, tracking your progress weekly, reflect, re-strategize, and recharge. And then keeping track of CEUs, or just keeping track of things that you need to do by a particular deadline. And like I always say, enjoy the process. That's where the intrinsic motivation comes from. Okay, so that's what I wanted to share from here. And now I'm going to go into the not so nice, I guess it's more simple and to the point prompts from the Google Doc. Everybody should have access to this one. So I would like for you to go ahead and, as we're working through this, take some time. You can share if you want to, but you don't have to. This is for you to take a pen. Got my pen ready. Got my planner ready. You can use the Google Doc. And we're going to go with first things first. So there's going to be our page 1. What are my goals and desires? So then this can be personal or professional. I dream of being blank. So what is it that your heart desires that you wish to accomplish this year? And why does it matter? So I'm going to let you take maybe 2 minutes to complete that one, and I'm going to do it with you as well. So for those of you who are joining, there's a Google Doc in the chat. I'm going to open up the chat. There's a Google Doc in the chat that we can share. There we go. And you can open it up, and we're working on page 1. So, and I'm going to do this with you as well. So first things first. What are your goals and desires? I dream of being, and obviously you can elaborate more if you feel like you're leaving things out. What do you dream of being, and why does this matter to you? Hopefully you're also doing this along, so that we can get through some of these important things and get them out of our hearts, out of our minds, and onto paper. Awesome. And then we're going to go through the bottom of this, the second half of this page. Professionally speaking, I want to become more knowledgeable or an expert on. So what are those topics that you want to tackle this year? For me, it's more integrated and functional nutrition. I also got a course on like PCOS that I want to get through, and GLP-1. So those are the 3 topics that I have in my mind for 2025. So then what are some topics or areas that you want to dive deeper into and expand your skill set? Have we gotten a good solid answer to the prompts from defining our goals? If anyone wants to share, go ahead and share in the chat. You don't have to, only if you want to. But you can also prompt others about different areas that maybe they haven't thought about. Ooh, Kayla says, I'd like to learn more about thyroid and hormones and accepting insurance. Right there with you, Kayla. Yes. Michelle, I dream of being impactful because I want to know that I'm making a difference in the world. Want to become an expert in emotional disorder eating, PCOS, and GLP-1s. Love it. Thank you for sharing. That's what it comes down to, right? It's like we want to know that we're making a difference and feel confident about our skill set. So when we have clients and be like, yes, like I know that I got this and that I'm able to help you. And that confidence, that energy can really, be transmitted into their journey as well. Okay. So now we're moving on to the next page then. What will your future self or your 2025 self want to focus on? For 2025, this is the prompt. I will focus on being more. So this is the being. Then we have the doing. So we're going to start with the being. What would you like, how would you like to be, I guess, in 2025? Um, so then this might be your attitudes, qualities that you're embodying. This might be how you respond to situations, how proactive you might be. So think about how you want to be or what qualities you want to embody. I have for 2025, I will focus on being more intentional, more present, more consistent, more self-compassionate. So I wonder what might be other things that you might be thinking of. Maybe you want to share to help others get ideas of what other qualities, I guess, they could work towards, or if you have your own set of values. Michelle, would like to be more consistent, resilient, intentional, and organized. Ooh. Roy, more focused, remembering that personal life is just as important as work life. Yeah, that balance, right? Yeah, I like that. For me, it was like being present. Like when I'm with my family, I want to be present with my family. When I'm at work, I want to be present at work and not having to multitask. Relaxed. I like that. We definitely need to be relaxed, right? Okay. So the next one is this was being. For 2025, I will be more. And then the next one is I will do more of. So what are some things that maybe help you embody some of those qualities? So if you want to be more, what was it? Focused, for example, what types of things would help you be more focused? If you want to be more relaxed, what types of things help you relax? So we can start to think about what activities we can put into our planners or we can consider so that we are doing and being our future self. So the next one is I will do less of. What are some things that maybe have been pulling you down or getting in the way of you potentially being and doing the things that you want to be and do? So, what are these things that you might want to do less of? Worry less. That's a great one. So, what will you do less of? A little bit more challenging than I thought. You do more, it feels easier. What will I do less of? So here, mm, this is one that I thought was very useful because many times we tend to be overly ambitious. So then how can we build a growth mindset that can help us be resilient, help us have that grit that we need, and just help us have that self-compassion. So when okay, great. Let me see if I actually copy pasted this one. Okay. So this is supposed to go on top. So think of how your future self will tackle obstacles and challenges, and what story you will tell yourself to overcome these obstacles and keep on keeping on. Self-compassion will help you learn from your actions and reflections so you can meet your full potential. Now, self-compassion can sound like this. This is my way of just writing a little something. When I get upset because my expectations have not been met or things don't go as planned, I will be kind to myself and remind myself this is okay. And I can re-strategize and make my action plan smaller or simpler or ask for support or accountability. So this is what I tell myself. It's okay. It's not the end of the world. There's another way that self-compassion can sound like. It can also sound like when I catch myself comparing my journey to someone else's, I'll remind myself that my path is my own and I'm exactly where I need to be. I will pause, reflect on how far I've come, and celebrate my progress. If needed, I'll take a breath, regroup, reassess my goals, and adjust my strategy based on what I've learned about myself. This journey will also uncover how and when I do my best work, what support I need, and how to take everything I've learned about myself each month to plan the next month, playing to my strengths. There is no such thing as failures, just opportunities to learn. So then I encourage you to write a little prompt for you as well. And in my case, I wrote because it's a planner, I was thinking maybe falling behind or obstacles getting in the way might likely be something that we need to plan for. So when I fall behind or stumble with unforeseen obstacles, I will remind myself that. So what will you remind yourself to help you get through it? And take a minute to write something down. I find that self-compassion is something that maybe we do talk to our clients about it, but we as dietitians maybe don't do enough of. So I figured this would be a good prompt to have in there. So now we're moving on to the next one. I just want to get a sense of where people are. I don't see any faces, so I can't tell. Now we're going to take what we've basically dumped on paper from the past few prompts, and we're going to go ahead and define some of the qualities. This is very similar to like choosing your word. Maybe you have already chosen a word. Maybe some of the prompts have helped you redefine what you want to embody or who you want to become in 2025. And in these cases, for this planner, like for this process, now that you've given it some thought, look back at the past 2 pages and think about your desired future self, your 2.0, your 2025 version. How would you describe this 2.0 version of yourself if you were a character in a story? What qualities would your future self embody on a daily basis? You can choose one, two, or three from the list that you've made before. It's kind of like prioritizing, right? Here's an example. If your 2.0 is someone who falls down 7 times and gets up 8, you believe you will make it through the storm, knowing you will come out stronger, then qualities or words that come to mind to describe this mindset, strengths or values would be resilience, to recover quickly from setbacks, using challenges as opportunities for growth. Perseverance, to persist in your efforts despite difficulties, maintaining focus on your goals. Optimism, you maintain a positive outlook, believing that enduring hardships will lead to personal strengths and improvement. Or adaptability, you adjust to changing circumstances, learning from experiences to navigate future challenges more effectively. So these qualities enable individuals to weather the storm and emerge stronger, viewing adversity as a catalyst for personal development. So then I encourage you now, from the words that you chose, that you will be more of, Which one, two, or maybe three words or quality strengths come to mind as the ones that you would like to be more intentional with in 2025? Let me know when you have your one, two, or three words. It's okay if you only have one. That's already a good number, I'd say. I have enough for three different words if you wanted to, but one is more than enough. We're just gonna focus on one of those for the next prompt. So I want you to choose one of those. And we're going to see how we can go ahead and actually embody this quality. So the reason I ask, do you have at least one, is because the next prompt is to write down your one quality, your one word. What will that be? And why is that important? So just choose one. Now, for this one word, why is it important to you? This word, quality, or value is important to me because what might be some benefits of being more like that? Why is it meaningful to you? Okay, so after that, the next one is the last time I embodied this quality or value was when in other words, what has helped you be more intentional, focused in the past? Hint, hint, you can do these same activities with your clients in nutrition counseling sessions. And then think of activities that could help you moving forward embody this quality. Okay, so now we're moving on to the brain dump. The next step, and this is one that I have been finding extremely useful, is to think about your professional development journey. And it all fits in, right? What you want to, how you want to be more, what you want to do more of, and then your journey, so that we know how we can play to your strengths based on your goals. So this next step is to think about your professional development journey and what expertise you like to develop in 2025. What topics would you like to learn more about or skills you want to master? So you can do that, and this can include webinars, courses, programs, workshops, summits, books, articles, supervision, mentoring, coaching, any type of skill development you are considering for 2025. You can also brain dump what courses you might have already bought and you need to get through as well, or things you're looking to get through, I guess. So just everything that you know you have to get through or you want to get through, this is where you just write it all out. Or it might be that you belong to a membership, like I belong to EDRD Pro. I have not been watching the things that I want to watch from there. Or if you're part of the academy and you have the DPGs, maybe you want to get through some of those webinars too that you've missed. Okay, So you've made your list, you've done the brain dump. So then after you've done this brain dump, and obviously you can do this on your own as well, if you have any state-specific CEU requirements, this will be up for you to look up. Are there any state-specific requirements? For example, I don't know, some might have like different CEUs for ethics or things like that. Number of CEUs needed by state, and when is your due date? Some of you might be licensed in numerous states, so you have to keep track of that. Ethics, right, Roy? So then this is a place for you to make a list of that. The other one is, do you have any certifications that require ongoing CPEUs? For example, are you also a health coach? If you're also a health coach, then how many CPEUs do you need to be able to remain certified? Or if you're a CDCES or any certification, this would be a place for you to write it down and also write at that deadline if there is one. So you probably have to look this up. I need to look this up. So for the sake of time, we're just going to move on to the next one. The next step would be to figure out how many CEUs do you have and how many CDUs or CEUs do you need. Remember, for dietitians, it's 75 every 5 years, and it has to be at least one from ethics. I'll be honest with you, I know that we now have a health equity requirement, and I don't know how many, if you need at least one or not, because it from a CPE provider, it's in the same category as ethics, or like on the same area where you request CEUs. What is that? Is Roy's asking. Yeah, so I don't know what the requirements are. I need to look. But now, whenever I request a CEUs for an activity, it asks me, is this an ethics or is this a health equity? And I could say no, or I could just choose one, but I can't choose both. So then when do you need to submit your CEUs by? When does your cycle end? I believe mine is in, so 2027. So I still have plenty of time. Any other notes on your CEU needs or requirements per CDR? So this is going to be entirely up to you. So then this is another place in case you want to also keep track of the programs or courses you have already bought and you need to finish in 2025. Keep in mind that some programs that you might have bought that have CEUs, they have an expiration date. Some are being continually renewed, others not necessarily. So that if there is a particular deadline, you might want to write down when that CEU expires. For example, I did one from EDRD Pro a while back, and I got the email saying, hey, this is going to expire in like 2 weeks. I'm like, oh, wow, okay, I need to get on it. So then I had to finish the whole training and submit it before those 2 weeks were up. Others have usually 1 year if it's a live webinar that you might have joined, or it's 3 years right now, if it's something that's pre-recorded or an enduring activity. Oh yeah, so what I wanted to add here is websites or platforms, and you can write it out if it helps you remember, or your username and password and the deadline. And I say this because from someone who provides CPs, I often have people emailing me, hey, I can't access the library, the course library. What's going on? And they're using a different password. And I have been guilty of that. I have like so many different emails, or sorry, a different email. I have so many different emails. I have my personal one. I have one for the Nutrition Counseling Academy. I have one for my private practice. Sometimes I forget which one I'm using for a particular course, so that it's useful to just keep track of what username and password you're using. Then, if you do have ideas of continuing ed that you like to buy or complete, maybe you already purchased in 2025, expiration date, length. So am I looking at like 8 hours or am I looking at just 2 hours? Or is this like a 48-hour course? It's just something to keep in mind so that you can start planning. So I think for the sake of time, we're going to go into this one. And I think this would be the natural next step. How do you tackle a year? So you tackle it by breaking it down into quarters. What would you like to get done, let's say in quarter one? So maybe January. What do you want to tackle? What do you want to tackle in February and in March? So if your CEU deadline is coming up, your cycle, you're really going to be paying attention to the next 4 months or 5 months, right? So that you're not scrambling for CEU the last week before that's due. So then based on the things that you already wrote down you wanted to learn about, what would you like to start with in January? And I know exactly what I need to start with. Okay. So then you have this so you can continue planning the rest of your quarters. You can always use this or any other planner you want. This is just my way of organizing it. So this is what the planner, the final version looks like. I have a little quote for each one. This is a quote that I love. The you that got you here is not the you that will get you to your goals. That means that we're constantly evolving, we're constantly improving for the most part, and we're constantly changing. So then how can we change to become the person that's gonna be the person that we want to be, embodying the qualities that we want to embody, do the things that we want our future self to be doing. And this is just a reminder for you. So the qualities you came up with, you can write down as I have it in the Google Doc as setting monthly intentions. And then what qualities do you wish to embody this month? You can write those down. Then how will I embody these? Think of specific activities for this month that maybe just one thing for this month that you might be willing, ready, and able to do. And the example I have here is if I want to be more organized, I can start my day by looking at my calendar, making sure everything is scheduled, and end my day by reviewing my calendar for the next day. So I avoid any surprises or I don't forget any meetings or set reminders. What task or continuing ed or habits will I prioritize this month? I know habits is the first time it's been included here, but some might be using this planner for habits as well. And then we break it down, just like we do with our clients. We break it down to baby steps. So if you have decided what particular program you want to focus on, or maybe what book you want to read this month, then what might be a goal for this first month? I know it's already the 10th, so we have 20 days. And then how can we break that down even smaller? And what I have next, and this is how I, organize my continuing ed or habits, is basically priorities for this week. And then just have a couple and then self-reflect. So the prompts that help me, and these are the same prompts I use with my clients, are what do you think you did well? What did you learn about yourself? And how will you adjust your approach next time? So if you're able to spend the last maybe 2 or 4 minutes before going to bed or like in bed before lights are off, thinking about what went well, what did you learn about yourself, and what would you do differently, that's going to help you prep your brain for the next day. And then I also have, if you're tracking your habits or how well you're embodying those qualities, you can, add your quality and just check off to see if there's any instance where you're able to embody that quality that day. So for those of you who stuck around, I'd love to hear anything that you want to share from your planning so far. I hope you found it useful and that the Google Doc is something that you can use. If anyone ever wants the planner,
Oh, I thought I had it muted. I was like talking. So, I actually got the planner before this, and it's actually great because it's made me think about some things that I've needed to do, and I keep putting off. So, now I've actually put a lot of things down, and I'm going to be checking things off. And um, it's helpful to see everything together because I have a lot to do with my private practice, and then apparently I need to look up this health equity thing. So I just put that put that right in. I'm gonna do my ethics and my health equity later this afternoon. Just check it off so I can get it out of the way.
Yeah.